All right, folks. Just want to say welcome back to Fast Break Fridays. And this is our second episode with Dr. Micheal Jones, who is also the head basketball coach here at Pasco-Hernando State College. My name is Kevin. I'm the digital media manager at the college. And like I said, this is our second episode of Fast Break Fridays, where we talk about all things basketball and some stuff that may not be just about the college basketball program. It might be a bigger conversation going on in the college sports world, specifically basketball.
Absolutely.
So we just barely touched a little bit on the Men of Excellence thing, and I know there may be some changes coming to that.
Sure.
But if we could maybe just delve into a little bit of the history of it a little deeper. I know you kind of mentioned a little bit about it last time.
Okay.
And your experiences with it anyway.
Absolutely.
Up to this point.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Dr. Beard actually started the Men of Excellence program when I started back in 2010.
Okay.
I believe he created the program around 2008, somewhere around there. And so when I was an assistant coach, we always helped, support that program. Most of the, men's basketball team was a part of that program. And then when Dr. Beard actually became president, he could no longer have the time to run it. So what I did was stepped in as an advisor and got with Jessica White under student activities and just kind of kept the ball rolling for Men of Excellence. And so some of the things that we did, we would meet, and at the time in K125, when it was just a classroom, now it's an office, we would have our meetings there, and we would have guest speakers come in to talk to these young men about.
So K125, for people who don't know, is a kind of a small office, is it? In the gymnasium?
Yeah, so the gymnasium, we just have, it used to be a classroom for health and wellness.
Right.
And then the gym has been through some renovations now, so that room has become a office with cubicles now.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt your train of thought there.
That's okay.
Giving some context for the viewers out there.
Sure.
So they have no idea what K building is, but that's our gymnasium.
Sure.
So, and if I messed up your train of thought,
no, you're fine. You're fine.
So
Dr. Beard created it back in 2008, and then when he became president, I kind of helped take that over under student activities, and became the advisor for Men of Excellence.
And then you bring in, you were saying, speakers and stuff?
Correct. So I would bring in, people, some would be, men from the college, and then some would be outside people that would come in and speak to these young men. I know I had Dr. Jeff Singletary, a great guy, ran a program called Huddle Touch, which is also one of our donors for men's basketball. He would come in and talk to the young men. I had Bob Durham. Bob Durham is a representative for Fellowship of Christian Athletes. He would come in and talk to the young men about different things. And then I would have professors, Gary Kors, he would come in and talk to the guys. I had Luther Bowie, which is one of our deans. He came in and spoke to them. And one of the most unique ones was Walters, Professor Walters.
Eric Walters.
Oh man, he had a story where he had an exam, and every time he would study, he would listen to a certain music. So the day he had a proctor exam, he kind of lost what he studied. But he asked the proctor if he could listen to his music to take his exam. And I think it was it was long. It was like 6-8 hours.
Goodness.
And he said with the music, or the mental part of the music, helped him remember everything, because that's how he studied.
Interesting.
Yes. If you ever get a chance to hear him speak, Eric Walters is great.
Took a class with Eric Walters.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How was it?
Spectacular.
I bet.
Spectacular. I forget what it was, American history of some kind, but really, really great class.
Awesome.
And he's a character.
Oh, yeah.
So the program, at least from your perspective, is kind of bringing mentors for the guys and give them some life skills and stuff.
Yeah. So kind of teaching them, about how to be men, and then also how to be professional, and then just different ways to, give them a perspective about things out in the world while they're here at the institution trying to learn and play basketball. we try to give them a variety of different things that they can get involved in. And Men of Excellence just was one component to, being a part of student life.
Right.
So the goal is to, help these men be successful, but give them a good foundation. That's the main thing.
Excellent. And one of the things I want to point out is that I know it's called Men of Excellence, but it is not just men can be in the club, correct?
That is absolutely correct. I think they have increased it to, also to women. And I think even when Dr. Beard transitioned, they had, women and Men of Excellence coming in. As of right now, I think that Dr. Emery Ells is kind of helping with this, with his, he has a program called the Success Academy.
Right.
And Men of Excellence is a part of that. So they kind of collaborate and absorb to student
So we might
success.
see some changes to it coming up, and
yes,
some different things.
Correct.
So on the horizon. So stay tuned for that.
Absolutely. And I'm still involved as much as I can be, and Dr. Beard is still involved somewhat when he wants to meet with the guys towards the end of the semester, which I think is still great, because even though he's not in that capacity anymore as an advisor, he still supports that program. And I do the same, and so does Dr. L. So it's a real collaborative effort. It's not just one person trying to run the show. It's a team effort.
And so, do they go out into the community and do things in the community much, or is it more just a kind of?
From a Men of Excellence standpoint, no. But what they have done is via Zoom, have spoke to students in the community under the Success Academy, which is where they're able to reach out through community projects. So I think that was another reason why we were able to use Dr. Ells as a bridge to kind of help encompass that.
Right.
So they can kind of get out in the community and talk to other students.
Just real quick,
Sure.
Just so people are aware out there, the college has a student life website, and you can go to student-life.phsc.edu and click on clubs, and you'll find all the information about all the clubs that are offered here at the college. Men of Excellence is listed there.
Absolutely.
So speaking of mentors and things like that, I recall a couple years ago when I took my son and one of his closest friends, Spencer Whitco, to an event in Hernando County with Horace Copeland.
Okay.
And you were actually at that event.
Okay.
And assisting with that. You talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Are you talking about the football camp?
Yeah.
Okay. So, man.
Your relationship with Horace Copeland?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. So, all right. So this is going to be pretty good. Now, so Horace Copeland, obviously, two-time national champ at University of Miami football.
Yep.
Also played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a wide
call
receiver.
Him High C, right?
High C, yep. He used to, when he catch the football in the end zone, he would do a backflip. Okay? All right. So I met Horace Copeland when I was working at West Hernando at middle school as a football coach, PE teacher, and basketball coach. So he came and worked with the kids. So he asked me would I would like to work the football camp. And I did. So I worked the first one, and the first one was at Springstead.
Okay.
And we worked that one, met a lot of guys. It was fun. And then we did the second one at Anderson Snow.
That's the one I
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and I met him, and so one day I said, when I got the job here, I said, hey, do you mind coming in and speaking to our athletes?
Nice.
So I got with student activities with Jessica, and they were able to support him and, give him a fee.
Right.
And he was able, and then to get with our AD, Steve at the time, and then was able to get all the athletes in our building.
Nice.
And he spoke to all the athletes. And I think that was the same year that Steve Winterland, when he was the baseball coach, they went to Nationals.
2014.
That's when they went to Nationals. That year he spoke to the athletes.
They finished fourth, I think, that year at the World Series.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. So
And
that may have had a real impact on at least the baseball team.
well,
I mean,
yeah,
they made it to the World Series.
exactly. And I
That's
think he had
incredible.
a great group of guys that year.
Oh, absolutely.
And that whole night was just phenomenal. It was phenomenal. I got a picture somewhere with me, Horace Copeland, and Kim Whitney, because I think Kim Whitney was she was volleyball coach and
Correct.
then also assistant AD at the time. And it was just a great night. The energy was great. It was positive. Dr. Beard was there. It was great.
Nice.
But yeah, just going back to Horace Copeland and yeah, so I worked his football camps. Great guy, and he now works, with at-risk youth in Hernando County at Endeavor
Does
School.
he really?
Yes, he does. And
That's really, really interesting, and props to him for that.
absolutely,
Definitely needed.
absolutely, and he still does things from time to time in communities, just helping people. I mean, his whole family is just a great, positive, people, great people you want to know. And I actually was able to recruit his son. His son played for us for 2 years, and his son was actually on the 2015 team that took us to the Region 10.
Very nice.
Yes.
And what was his name?
His name is Chris Copeland.
There we go.
Yes.
I remember that name.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Great kid.
Nice.
Great
so,
kid.
as far as maybe well-known athletes or anything, is there any others that you've worked with or had come in and talk to the team or anything
Sure.
like that?
Sure. Now, are you talking alumni that played or
Alumni? Anybody?
Okay, so we would have every now and then, like this year we haven't because of COVID, we have alumni game.
Oh my goodness. So that's not going to happen this year.
Not this year, but we're going to try to bring it back next year because it's a very, like the alumni are really looking forward every year to come back and just reunite and play.
Yeah, I've covered a couple of them.
They
They're
really love it.
serious. Yeah,
they love it. They get up for that game.
They do.
So
As do your players.
Oh yeah, they love it because they want to show up the old
Yep,
school
the
guys.
current players really they
yeah.
go hard.
They
out
go
on the
pretty
court
hard.
for sure.
So and if I can't wait till we have it. It's great. But anyhow, what I did one year was have the alumni come in and speak to some of the younger athletes to kind of tell them what to look for, give them some tips, how to progress and be better, stronger, faster, and also intelligent. The year I played as a freshman in 99, 2000, we were number 1 in the state and 5th in the nation as a basketball team. We were JUCO Division I at the time. On that team, a guy by the name of Sean Peterson, he played in the NBA G League after he finished his career at Georgia Southern.
Nice.
I played with some great players. So they were able to come back, talk to these guys. Darrell Williams was another one. He actually went Division II, but before he went Division II, he actually signed a letter of intent with Kansas State. And he was that good.
Jayhawks, I think, right? Kansas State.
Bobcats, Purple Team, Big 12.
Kansas Jayhawks is
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I literally seen him take off from the free throw line and the elbow in the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't realize he did it after I asked him because he got fouled and then won.
Right.
But he was that talented.
Wow.
And he was only 6'5".
Incredible.
Right. So alumni have talked to these guys. I've had, like I said, mentors from Men of Excellence talk to these guys, and then people that are just not even a part of the institution or a part of Men of Excellence that just wants to come by and be an impact.
Right.
So these guys have always have some type of influence besides me or the assistant coaches.
And I'm sure, like Ray Calvert and stuff, like people that are around all the time probably have an influence on him. Ray Calvert, you talked about last time, run the books for.
Listen, Ray Calvert has been an intricate part to the basketball success. I mean, he religiously loves the game of basketball, loves to come out and do our stat book. He will be back with us this year and will travel with us too.
Very nice.
Ray is a basketball diehard, believe it or not. And some of the things that we discuss relates to basketball. It's like, whoa, I didn't know he knew that. And he helps us quite a bit when it comes to the stat book.
Is there anything going on in the national news that you got something running around in your head there that's something you might want to talk about or no?
Well, I mean, Not really. I mean, you got your, I think right now that college sports is a very hot topic because, the new image and likeness rule,
Right.
where student athletes can get, paid for what they do, but it's from other vendors, not the
Right.
college or institution itself. So I think right now it's just awareness, making sure these student athletes are aware, but more or less aware of the rule,
Right.
of understanding
Absolutely.
what's the rules and how to follow them. Right now, it's not really important per se when it comes to news yet, but it will because it's going to be an ongoing thing.
Right.
So that's something to kind of probably be aware of. That's when I say national news when it comes to student athletes in college, that image and likeness rule.
How's practice going? You guys practicing
Well-
every day, or?
Well, right now we only can do conditioning, so we're allowed 8 hours, and so we fit those 8 hours in a week, and we push them hard. I mean, I got what's funny is that even though I'm the head coach, there's a lot of people at this institution helps basketball run. So prime example, we have 2 tractor tires that we use for explosion and lifts.
Right.
So a guy by grounds, he doesn't work at this campus anymore. I think he's at East. His name is Mike Miller.
Okay.
Worked grounds. He took his time out of his schedule. We got in the car and we went to the dump. And we got these big 2 tractor tires.
That's awesome.
And he helped us bring them back, load them, put them out there. So maintenance always helped the basketball team, and I'm sure every other team too as well, when it comes to strength and conditioning by getting us the tires.
Very nice.
And so they're doing that. We're utilizing the new weight room that they instituted for us, the fitness room, and the weight room that they upgraded, which is very nice. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, that is spectacular.
It is a very nice weight room.
And one is called the Raumusanuru Cardiovascular Room or
Yep.
something like that.
And then the other one's Dr. Beard's weight room.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
And if anybody is on the West Campus, certainly encourage you to go check that out.
Absolutely. If you're a student, faculty, staff, you have access to that.
We actually had Boomer the Bobcat in there today doing the ropes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we got some really
Got a great workout in for him? That's awesome.
with a couple of your players actually helping
Awesome.
out. Yeah,
That's great.
great footage. Look for that to come out here soon.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
It's gonna be nice. Yeah.
So yeah, we're working out, doing the mile, getting them in, getting them acclimated, getting them in shape. So we can have hopefully a successful season. Hopefully, keep COVID down, best as we can.
Without giving away too much,
Sure.
what does a typical conditioning? I mean, if you don't want to talk about it.
Oh,
that's
no,
fine.
we can talk about it.
Okay, because I know some coaches don't like to give up their
No.
their routine as like and all.
Well, I
that.
think the audience needs to know, especially for recruit or potential recruits listening.
Gotcha.
So for instance, when it comes to conditioning, it's rigorous. It's just like academics. Here's your standards. They need to meet them.
Gotcha.
One of the things that, when I was an athlete here many moons ago, we would have to run the mile under 6 minutes before we could practice in October.
Pretty fast, right?
That's moving.
Yeah.
That's moving. Now, granted, a lot of them can't really run the 6 minute, but then you might put it at 6:40, 6:30 to see
Make
if
it
they
attainable.
correct.
Yeah.
I do things when it comes to like sports psychology. I got that sports psych background.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a thing called SMART goals. Specific, measurable,
Right.
attainable, reachable, and timely. So you want to put something that they can reach. You don't want to put
Absolutely.
something in front of them they can't reach. So you give them the mile, flip tires, and then I'll flip flop. We might do weights one day, and then we might just do cardio and plyometrics the next day with ab balls and medicine balls and stuff like that. The biggest thing when it comes to strength conditioning, when it comes to basketball, is core strength. Back, legs, shoulders. You're going to use back, legs, and shoulders 99% of the time you play college basketball,
Makes
any
sense.
sport, because you got to explode.
Right.
So therefore, there's really no blueprint or science or any hidden truth to it. It's just the fact that those muscles have to be worked and overworked to take the pounding up to 6 months. Because you got to remember, we start conditioning in September, practice starts in October. Season starts November, December, January, February, and then if you make it, you go post March.
That's a long haul.
That's a long haul.
Yeah.
And we got, and you have to have your academics in play because you got 2 eligibilities. You got eligibility in fall, you got eligibility in spring.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. So because you go almost like half a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's rigorous.
So let me ask you another question about
Sure.
conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that most of your players get here with, kind of a feeling for that already, an idea for that, or is it something that has to be kind of taught, or
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both?
Yeah, a little bit of both. One of the things that we're finding is that because since the dynamics of basketball has changed so much, where when I was growing up, you would see a lot, not that you don't because you still have them, you would see a lot of basketball camps,
Right.
like overnight camp. You would stay for a week, you work on skills and drills, and then at the end of the day, you play. So a lot of teaching would be going on, and you would have high school and college coaches working simultaneously teaching
Okay.
skill. But you don't see a lot of that now, especially now in Florida. You have them, but they're sporadic. They're not like a bunch.
Well, is that COVID related, or is that just in general?
No, I think that's just more in general of how basketball has evolved to more of your travel ball, your AAU basketball, post-grad. Those are more of your conglomerate of leagues where teaching and everything's supposed to be going on.
Right.
And then you got, and then high school, middle school. So it's a little different now. The dynamics have changed. So when you ask the question, do they know to come in ready? They do and they don't, because some of them never really seen how a college workout actually looks like. One of the beauties I've done, because when it comes to basketball, I like basketball. So I had a chance to help the women's basketball team over at St. Leo University. Mm-hmm. And what he would do when he would have camp, he would put the campers through a collegiate workout.
Interesting.
So high school kids would kind of know what it's like for a practice at SLU.
Right.
So it kind of gives them the idea. So again, I give them the idea, but when they actually get here, they know the rigor is a little bit more harder in high school.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, from an academic standpoint, for people out there who may not know, they have mandatory study hall or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. Here's the one thing. Again, there's a lot of people on this campus that help basketball be successful. So we have now instituted 2 study halls. So we have our own at like 2 o'clock, okay, mandatory. Mm-hmm. And now since Dean Chiquita Henderson implemented an online study hall at 7 p.m.
Study with the dean or
Study with the dean.
Something?
So we actually do 2 study halls every Monday, all year.
Nice.
So these guys can kind of keep that routine. And again, that's all mental.
Right.
You keep your routines, recall, recognition, relearn, that's all mental. So again, you want to keep that going. So Chiquita Henderson's been helping us a lot with that.
So for the public out there, Dean Henderson, the study with the dean is not just for athletes or anything like that. That's
Any
for
student.
anybody. Any
That's
student
correct.
Can attend that, and we've heard that it's been actually very helpful and well attended.
Absolutely.
And I don't know how long, it's like a couple hours long or something?
2 hours, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Monday nights.
And you can find that, I believe, on our Facebook page or the Student Life Facebook page under the events. And probably even on our website. I'll actually take a peek while we're talking here, but I think on our website under the events section it has that listed as well. We'll just pass on that. Go look for it. It's there.
Sounds good to me.
I promise you.
Sounds good to me.
Anything you got you want to cover other than that today? I mean,
Well, I think one of the things that I'm learning now is that, and I'm not sure if I spoke about this last time, is that you have to have a lot more patience now with student athletes. It's a little different. You start to see a lot more, student athletes coming in that need a lot more attention than they normally might have never got at home or whatever the case may be. Not that you're doing anything special for them. It might be some things that they never experienced that they need, and we try to do everything we can possible to find it within the college. One of the other intricate parts to men's basketball, and as a professor here, is that Jackie Eden has been a big help in helping student athletes and students that might be homeless, they might have no food. They got the food pantry
Right.
that student activities has been helping with.
Bobcat Pantry.
Yep, Bobcat Pantry, jobs, internships. I actually have her actually come in and speak to our my class, and for anybody that might need a job, because sometimes I have students that might be homeless or jobless, so
Yeah.
it helps out a
That's
whole
great.
entire lot. So.
Yeah. Yep. Helps the community. Good.
Oh, no doubt. And she's helped us a lot. Dr. Eddie Williams has helped us a lot when they would have these conferences, and vendors would come in, and they're looking for people to work. So sometimes
we can get back to some of that.
that's what I'm hoping. You know, it really helps out the students. It helps. It's good PR for the school, big PR for the community. So
On-campus events, something that everybody really kind of misses, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I think between John Fay and Jessica White, they do a really good job with that.
And by the way, Study with the Dean is on our website, phsc.edu, under the events section. Okay, so you were talking about coaching, or the athletes are a little bit different
Oh, yes.
now. And so when you were a player,
Sure.
draw me some comparisons to what the way you were coached to the way
Sure.
maybe that things are today.
All right. So, for instance, mental toughness. My mental toughness, when I was playing was go out there, rub some dirt on it, and get back in there. So, and I would, be coached with coaches that would, in middle school, I played football as a quarterback, tight end, cornerback, played both ways on the ball.
Right.
But the point I'm trying to make is at practice one day we were getting water. All right. So one day we were getting too much water, so the coach turned the water over. We had no water.
Oh my goodness.
So you can't do that now, okay?
No.
Now, granted, I didn't get upset. It actually built more character in me. But granted, you can't do that now,
Right.
okay?
So that
Now-
would be a comparison.
Correct. So that type of style coaching won't fly today.
Gotcha.
Now, foreshadowing back to college when I played, it was still that type of coaching. Now, granted, you didn't turn the water over. I mean, it's basketball, it's not football. But the whole point of it is, it was more. We were taught from that type of style coaching, so everybody could adapt to it.
Right.
But since the dynamics of how family dynamics have changed over these 2 decades of me not being a ball player anymore, now I'm in the capacity of a coach,
Right.
it's totally different. So when I'm talking about they're different, where you had a lot of support in the stands from mom and dad. When I played, well, you don't even probably see, you might see a parent, you may not. So that's why I think with Tyler and James, the film of the games is very intricate.
Very important.
Because some of the parents might want to be here, but they may have to work.
Right, or maybe they just can't
Or
travel.
or they just can't get here.
Yeah.
So you got that component, and then there's a void because there's no support during the game. So you got that, and then you have there might be some mental challenges, and you might have to work through it. Only difference is now you have a lot more resources now than you did probably when I was a player. So
Right.
like when I was a player, you only had teachers' office hours. That was it. Now you got academic success center.
Right.
You got all kind of different
so things
services.
have evolved quite a bit to
Oh,
make it
absolutely.
better.
Oh, absolutely. So I try to use every resource we have to support these student athletes.
Speaking of coaching faux pas or whatever you want to call it, that maybe you shouldn't, see today. Wasn't maybe a week ago or so, I saw a video of Trent Dilfer. I don't know if you saw this or not.
Probably not.
Coaching up a player on the sidelines, a high school player, and actually put his hands on him. I don't think he punched him or anything like that, but he was right up in his grill and pushing him,
Sure.
and actually pushed him back into the bench and almost knocked him over.
Oh, wow.
And that went viral.
Oh, wow.
There was a lot of controversy about
Sure.
that particular video.
Sure.
Trent Dilfer actually posted an apology and said, I got out of line. A lot of people said, hey, that's coaching.
Yeah. the thing about it, obviously you can't do that anymore.
Right.
And I'm glad he apologized, and I'm sure he apologized to the family, everybody, and that's important. And the thing about it is, sport is a culture, and the thing about it, sometimes the culture changes.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is that even when the culture changes, but when you've been coached and played at that culture at that era, very hard to change.
Gotcha.
So, I can't say, because I never saw the video, I can't say why he did it, but I know you can't really do that anymore. Yeah. But, sport is a culture and coaching is a culture. And sometimes, like I said before, my middle school football coach, he turned the water cooler over. Now you can't do that anymore.
Right.
So I understand both sides, and I'm sure he probably understand, hey, that probably wasn't right. So I'm glad he was able to apologize, but knowing that the culture of sport, those things probably may or may have happened in the past.
Yeah, so he, Trent Dilfer played football probably since he was a young man. And
Absolutely.
Probably that's how he was coached.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
And, like you're right, culture has changed quite a bit. And again, with the videos that we see like that, you're missing some context.
Sure.
And again, no excuse for it. But
Sure.
we don't know what happened before then.
Exactly.
Because you don't see that part.
Exactly.
You only see this little
sliver.
And, a lot of people are saying he's actually a good coach. I don't know.
Well, I think one of the things that I will say this is that, coaches always desire for a player to be successful. And sometimes it takes the right coach to push an athlete to the limit to bring out what he needs to bring out of that player. Now, I'm not saying you got to use, force or nothing like that, but it takes a right coach to push an athlete to the limit to make him become or she to become what she needs to become.
Gotcha.
Now, I've seen, coaches when I was playing, get in people's face like this close, and I've seen that same coach or some coaches that may not use that type of force with this player because that might be all they see at home, and that's not going to work for that athlete. But some coaches can't differentiate.
Yeah. So you're saying it. If I'm understanding this correctly, is coaches nowadays have to be a little more adaptive to the players and treat them a little bit differently, each one maybe?
Absolutely. Well, here's the thing. You can't, it's like a biblical term, you can't put new wine in old wineskin.
Gotcha.
The only thing about that whole process is when the culture and the sport evolves, you have to adapt.
Gotcha.
And if you don't adapt, it's going to be very hard for you to progress on with this new age of sport, because let's face it, the toughness of the physical athlete part is totally different than the athlete now. Not that they're not talented, they're talented, but the toleration of what they did in the 80s and 90s is totally different than what they're doing now in the 20s and the 21, 22. It's just totally different. Now, both athletes are great. All coaches are great. If they weren't great, they wouldn't be named. You know what I mean? I mean, Trent Dilfer is a Super Bowl champ.
Yep.
However, whether if we're a champ, not a champ, with this new sport culture, we have to adapt to what's new. But Trent Dilfer's a great player.
He was.
Great player, and he played for the Bucks.
Yeah, he did.
And
that was High C there when he played for him?
Probably.
I think he probably was.
Probably.
Or maybe right before that or something, but that era.
Absolutely.
So I think we probably made our 30-minute mark.
Okay.
And it's been great talking to you.
Sure, absolutely.
Again, the PHSC basketball has a YouTube channel. Right now, they're not producing any content for it, but all the games will be broadcast there live. And of course, if you miss the game, it's going to be there as a recorded video. You can go back and watch. So any parents out there or family that maybe live out of state or anything like that, or just can't make it to a game, make sure you check that out. And we try to announce that on the social channels, either day of the game or the day before or something, to try to remind people that there's a chance for you to watch it. And Facebook, PHSC Basketball.
Yes.
Instagram, Twitter. Check us out. And like I said, we're going to keep trying to do this every Friday. We're going to have, or every other Friday.
Yes.
We're going to have a little bit more content. And if there's anything you want to hear Coach Jones discuss, you have questions, please put them in the comments, and we'll make sure that we get to that for you. Once again, everybody have a great weekend, and thanks for tuning in.
Go Bobcats.
You got it.
Yes, sir.